Alright guys, I don't have my hat on, but I just had to get this off my shoulders for a second. See, all these beats I made since 2006 that I upload on YouTube, they don't sound the way I wanted to. You know, Fruityloops. But let's take it back in time. See, I was born just like how everybody else was born. See, I was born out of my mama when she was young, and my dad was young too, you know. In the 80s, late 80s. Okay, my dad in '98 had bought a $1,000 producing thing. You know, it was long. I mean, I was a kid, you know, I was like 4'7". When I first saw it, you know, I used to live in California. I was born in California, and I came from California and moved down here with my parents in 2001. And he had this long keyboard thing, and it was speakers just as tall as me, and it said Pro Studios. It was two big 12s, and it was about tall as, it was like up to here, and they had a speaker on top like that. And they used to, and my older sister was all grown up, and my two older sisters was all grown up. They used to play. They used to have parties over there and play "Put It in Your Mouth," that says the motherfucking mouth, and "Pia Pia," all the 2001 songs that digga, you know, pass the toy, all them old 2001 songs. And what's the old song? My mind is telling me no. Okay. But, you know, my dad had a professional beat maker. That's the first beat maker that I noticed. I sat down and started making beats. It was it had a little table, it had all this. You could put big headphones on that said Pro Studio. You know, my dad was locked up at the time. And that's the thing that I need, and that's the thing that's the reason why we got Fruityloops, because it got stolen in 2002. When I moved to live with my auntie, due to you know problems with my parents still. You know, my parents, you know, and I can try to get Fruityloops to sound like the same thing from doom boom ding 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 years ago, but it's not. I mean, boom, ding, ding, and then you go to the same keyboard that my dad had a long time ago, the little long keyboard. I know how to play piano. You know, it's just not gonna sound like it. It got stolen, you know. I was only down there for 2. Then Aaliyah died, and then I moved with my auntie way in Ocala. And then I moved way back here in 2006, and they had Fruityloops like a year after the stolen of the item, the merchandise. And you know, the speakers as tall as me, and they get it from my mom. They used to play that back in 2001 and everything. It's just not gonna sound like that. So so you have to give me time to get one of those long keyboards that cost $1,000 that you could pitch and you could loop and all that stuff. You know, I was just 12 years old at the time. You know, you gotta give me time to do that. You gotta give me time to get a mic. You know, I had this mic since March 2010. I know everybody like, oh, why is it so loud? You know, but my brother, it's a long story, man. See, I started. I had an old big camera, expensive camera from '88, and back in 2008, and it sounded just like a TV. So I just said, "Hey, since it sounds like a TV, I could just use it as a regular mic." And then I was using my sister's computer at the time, and that's when I started using odd microphones. Instead of going to the studio, I went to the studio only one time in February 2008. And then I started. And then 2 years later in 2010, I said, "Hey, this microphone sounds good." It used to be a tape player, a little purple tape player that says play, that you could press play. See that button. You know how that goes. And that's when I started copying off of what I did in 2008. See, what I do, I copy off of what I copy off of and everything. But you can't get Fruityloops to sound like that $1,000 merchandise, man. Sorry, Fruityloops. I mean, you could try, but it's not gonna sound like. You all you do is use a mouse and draw little dots on it. I've been drawing for fucking 6 years, and I just need a keyboard, man, like Lil Jon.